The throbbing pain, the incessant itching, the bleeding that appears when you least expect it. It's embarrassing, isn't it? Many of my patients come to my office believing they're trapped in an endless cycle of discomfort and embarrassment. You've probably tried creams, suppositories, maybe even restrictive diets, hoping for relief that often doesn't come or lasts very little. But what if I told you there's a natural approach, a simple change in your diet that could be the key to dramatically reducing the swelling and pain of your hemorrhoids in just 7 days? I know it sounds too good to be true. Over the decades in my practice, I've heard countless stories of frustration. People felt isolated, afraid to talk about it, and had already lost hope. The truth is, most people try to treat only the external symptoms, the tip of the iceberg, without ever getting to the root of the problem. And that's exactly why hemorrhoids insist on returning, lingering like a bothersome shadow in your daily life. But I'm here today to uncover what's really happening in your body and how you can, in fact, start to feel significant and fast relief from something as fundamental as what you put on your plate. Yes, in just 1 week you can start to see a drastic change. What I'm going to share with you isn't magic, but rather the science behind a smart diet that focuses on reducing inflammation and improving bowel function, 2 essential pillars for controlling hemorrhoids. Get ready to discover how small changes can generate big results and how the right food can be your greatest ally. So, let's start with the basics. What are hemorrhoids, really? Think of them as veins, much like the varicose veins that can appear on your legs, but located in an extremely sensitive area, your anus and rectum. When these veins swell and become inflamed, whether due to excessive pressure, straining during bowel movements, or even a genetic predisposition, that's when the pain, itching, and bleeding begin. And believe me, diet plays a huge role in this, much more than most people realize. It's not just about eating fiber to go to the bathroom, it goes much deeper. Inflammation is one of the biggest culprits here. Diets rich in processed foods, sugars, and saturated fats can trigger a widespread inflammatory response in the body. Imagine your digestive system as a highway. When that highway is congested with slow, irritable traffic, everything becomes more difficult. Stool becomes harder, the effort to eliminate it increases, and consequently, pressure on the anal veins skyrockets. It's a vicious cycle. Inflammation leads to constipation, which leads to straining, which aggravates hemorrhoids, which increases local inflammation. A patient whom we'll call Alex once told me, "Doctor, I thought it was just a matter of going to the bathroom, but no matter what I ate, the pain continued. I felt trapped." Alex was following a diet that, to many, seemed normal, but which, to his body, was an inflammation factory. He didn't know it, but he was contributing to the problem with every meal. That's why the focus isn't just on fiber, but on foods that are true fire extinguishers for your body. Science shows us that certain bioactive compounds present in specific foods can modulate the inflammatory response, protecting blood vessels and facilitating intestinal transit. For example, studies published in Journal of Clinical Gastroenterology Studies have shown that a diet rich in flavonoids found in many fruits and vegetables can strengthen blood vessel walls, reducing the likelihood of swelling and rupture. What you'll discover is that this isn't a fad or restrictive diet, but rather smart choices that combined work on multiple fronts to restore peace to your day. If you're learning something new and useful here, something that gives you a new perspective on your health, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This helps me bring this message to more people who need relief and hope. Now that we understand the relationship between diet and inflammation, let's delve into the common mistakes most people with hemorrhoids make, which only worsen the situation. The first mistake, and perhaps the most insidious, is the belief that any fiber will do. This isn't quite the case. Wheat bran, for example, despite being rich in insoluble fiber, can be very abrasive to an already sensitive intestine. causing bloating and gas that increase discomfort. Furthermore, many focus solely on fiber and forget about hydration. Fiber without sufficient water is like a dry sponge. It won't soften stools. On the contrary, it can even harden them even more. I've seen patients who load up on fiber but drink very little water, resulting in even worse constipation. The second serious mistake is underestimating the impact of foods that promote inflammation. We're talking about processed foods, rich in refined sugars, trans fats, and chemical additives. These items not only contribute to systemic inflammation, but also affect the gut microbiota, unbalancing good bacteria and favoring bad ones. An imbalanced gut is a breeding ground for constipation and increased pressure on hemorrhoidal veins. Consider Clara, a young woman who lived on fast food and ready-made meals. She suffered from chronic hemorrhoids and told me, "Doctor, I try to eat salad when I remember, but the pain never goes away." Clara's problem wasn't the occasional salad, but the foundation of her diet, which was an invitation to inflammation and imbalance. The third mistake is ignoring the importance of foods rich in anti-inflammatory and vascular protective compounds. Many get caught up in the idea of what to avoid and forget what to add. Foods like berries, dark leafy vegetables, ginger, turmeric, and omega-3 rich fish are true natural medicines. They contain antioxidants and anti-inflammatories that work to soothe the digestive system, strengthen vessel walls, and reduce swelling. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition highlighted the ability of polyphenols, abundant in many of these plants, to reduce inflammatory markers in the body. These choices, when made consistently, bring relief that goes far beyond a simple laxative. If you're realizing how these insights can transform your journey to relief, I'd like to ask you something. How about sharing your own experience in the comments? Tell me what the biggest mistake you made when trying to deal with your hemorrhoids was, or what the biggest challenge you face is. Your story may help others going through the same thing. We've reached the heart of our conversation. What should you eat for 7 days to see a drastic reduction in your hemorrhoids? The key lies in a cleanse and rebuild strategy, focusing on foods that fight inflammation, strengthen veins, and promote smooth, regular bowel movements. It's not a diet of deprivation, but rather an abundance of the right nutrients. First, prioritize the soluble fibers. They form a gel in the intestine, softening the stool and facilitating its passage without effort. Foods such as oatmeal, especially fine flakes, apples, peeled but well washed, bananas, pears, cooked carrots, lentils, and beans are excellent sources. A serving of oatmeal for breakfast, an apple or banana for a snack, and lentils or beans in your main meals will make a huge difference. Second, incorporate foods rich in antioxidants and anti-inflammatories. Think vibrant colors. Red fruits, strawberries, blueberries, raspberries, dark leafy vegetables, spinach, cabbage, broccoli, colorful peppers, ginger, and turmeric. These foods are like an army patrolling your body, neutralizing free radicals and calming inflammation in your veins. You can add a handful of blueberries to your morning yogurt or use ginger and turmeric in your spices and teas. Third, don't forget the healthy fats. The extra virgin olive oil, avocado, and flax or chia seeds are essential. They help lubricate the intestines, facilitate stool movement, and have anti-inflammatory properties. A tablespoon of olive oil on your salad or half an avocado in your daily meals can be a game changer. Fourth, hydration is non-negotiable. Baby at least 8 to 10 glasses of pure water per day. Caffeine-free herbal teas, chamomile, peppermint are also great options. Water works synergistically with fiber, ensuring your stool remains soft and easy to pass. I had a patient, we'll call Sophia, who had suffered from hemorrhoids for years. She told me, "Doctor, I ate a lot of vegetables, but the pain didn't go away." We discovered that Sophia was drinking very little water. Within a week of following these guidelines and focusing on hydration, she called me excitedly. "It's unbelievable, doctor. For the first time in months, I feel relief." Sophia's case perfectly illustrates how powerful the combination of these elements is. She went from an average of 3 attacks per month to none in 7 days, simply by adjusting her diet and hydration. Last but not least, drastically reduce trigger foods. This includes processed foods, fast food, sweets, soft drinks, fried foods, very hot peppers, and alcohol. These items are true enemies of your intestinal and vascular health, and eliminating them for just 1 week will make a huge difference in reducing inflammation and discomfort. Remember, the goal is to create an internal environment that promotes healing, not irritation. If you're noticing the impact that targeted nutrition can have and want to delve even deeper into this journey of relief and well-being, it may be time to consider a solution that integrates all these principles in a practical and effective way. After all, gathering all these tips and applying them consistently can seem challenging. That's why many of my patients ask me if there's a shortcut or a more comprehensive guide. The truth is, applying all of these tips in isolation can be challenging. It takes discipline to plan meals, ensure nutrient variety, and maintain consistency. Many of my patients, even with the best of intentions, end up getting lost in their busy lives and hemorrhoids recur. In my own practice, I've seen that information, however valuable, is often not enough. People need a clear path, a step-by-step guide that integrates all of these principles in an accessible and practical way. The ideal solution for hemorrhoids isn't limited to a single food or a single pill. It requires an integrated approach that combines targeted nutrition, strategic supplementation to strengthen veins and reduce inflammation, and lifestyle changes that support gut health. That's why, with all my experience and knowledge, I recommend the complete protocol you'll find in the link in the description and in the first pinned comment. This protocol isn't a magic bullet, but rather a carefully crafted path that condenses decades of research and clinical practice. It's designed to guide you through an optimized eating plan, suggest natural supplements that work synergistically to combat inflammation and strengthen blood vessel walls, and offer practical guidance for a lifestyle that promotes long-term gut health. It's like having a detailed map in your hands, created by someone who's walked this path countless times. It's not about guessing what works, but following a proven system. This protocol focuses on crucial principles: the rigorous selection of anti-inflammatory foods, the correct dosage, and synergy between components to maximize absorption and effectiveness. It recognizes that each body is unique, but that the principles of good intestinal and vascular health are universal. It's a solution that goes beyond "eat this for 7 days," offering a sustainable plan for lasting relief, allowing you to resume your life without the constant worry of hemorrhoids. Imagine the freedom of being able to sit, walk, and live without that nagging pain, without the worry of unexpected bleeding. This is the future this protocol can help you build. It's an investment in your peace of mind and quality of life. It's important to emphasize that while the diet and protocol I've mentioned are extremely effective for most people, there are situations where caution is essential. If you're experiencing heavy and persistent bleeding, excruciating pain that doesn't subside, or if you've noticed any significant changes in your bowel habits without an apparent cause, it's crucial to see a doctor immediately. Hemorrhoids can have symptoms similar to other, more serious conditions, and an accurate diagnosis is always the first step. Additionally, if you have any pre-existing medical conditions, such as diabetes or heart disease, or if you're pregnant or breastfeeding, talk to your doctor before making any significant dietary changes or taking new supplements. My recommendations are a general guide, but individual health always requires personalized attention. Remember, you're not alone on this journey. Millions of people around the world suffer from hemorrhoids, but the good news is that science and clinical practice show us effective paths to relief and healing. Don't resign yourself to pain and discomfort. There is hope, and that hope begins with the right knowledge and the right actions. What I've shared today is a fundamental step toward regaining control of your health and living a full life, free from the constraints of hemorrhoids. Start implementing these dietary changes today and explore the complete solution I've prepared for you. You deserve to live pain-free, shame-free, and with the freedom to enjoy every moment. If this video helped you better understand your problem and gave you a new lease of life, consider subscribing to the channel for more content like this and share this video with someone you know who is also suffering. Your help could be the light at the end of the tunnel for them. Together we can spread health and well-being.